What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another flag tying tutorial. Thanks a lot again for clicking that button. Today we're going to be tying up this little rainbow warrior. Awesome little pattern if you've never fished it. I'm going to get a fresh hook in the vise and we'll get going with this tutorial. So the hook we have in the vise right now is a Partridge Patriot. This is their jig hook. This is a number 12. The bead I have on there is something that you guys wouldn't really see a lot. I actually just came across them. I don't even know if they make them anymore, but it is a hairline dubbing rainbow head tungsten bead. This is a 3.3 mil or a 1/8, and these things are awesome. I just came across them a couple days ago, so I decided to start tying with them, and they're just awesome. Awesome for Rainbow Warrior for sure. Then I have a couple wraps of lead-free wire in 0.015, and I just wrapped about, I'd say about 6 or so. Then I put a little dab of this Ultra Gel super glue, then I push it up behind the bead. I like this Ultra Gel because it doesn't like run off the shank. It's kind of like a gel, so you can just put it on there and push it up. The thread we're going to be using, UTC 70 denier in red. And what we're going to do is just we're going to start a thread right behind this lead. Kind of just push it up, make sure it's resting behind that bead. Then we're just going to take some thread wraps down to where the hook barb would be. And we're just going to cut out that little tag end there. And for the tail, we're going to be using some pheasant tail. This is a natural color. You can use any of your favorite tailing fibers, if it's Coq de Leon or pheasant tail, whatever it is. So I'm just going to grab about 6 to 8 fibers here, then strip them off the stem. Now the tail on these, I'm going to make it about a little bit shorter than the hook shank. Just like so. So now I'm just going to bring my thread up, and I'm actually just going to bring these butts up with it to the back of the bead, and that's just going to fill up some of that dead space. So I'm just going to cut those pheasant tails out now. Clean up those wraps a bit. I'm just going to bring my thread back down here. I'm just going to take one wrap underneath those pheasant tails, and that's just going to keep them a little bit propped up. So next material we're tying in is the rib. We're just going to be using some soft wire. This is a small and a silver. So I'm just going to tie that in right behind that lead-free wire on the side of the hook facing towards me. Just going to take some nice thread wraps down, make sure it's nice and tight in there, while keeping a nice tapered smooth underbody, just like so. Now for the body of this fly, I'm going to be using some flash. This is some Flashabou. Now we're just going to take 3 strands of this. This is the pearl Flashabou. And you can use all kinds of different flash. You can use the like the Mylar flash. This is just a little bit easier. You can get a couple nice flies out of the length of one. So I'm just going to tie that in. Keep everything relatively smooth underneath. I'm just going to make some nice wraps here. I want this just to start right at the base. If it wants to. It's like so. I'm just going to make some overlapping wraps up this body. Kind of just, you can build the body up a little bit with the flash if you have enough. So I'm just building up a nice little tapered body here. Once you get to the back of the bead, you can just tie that off. Snip out the excess. Then you're going to grab your wire here. We're just going to make counter wraps, open spiral wraps up the body here. This is going to add a little bit of durability as well as keep that flash in there. So if you do catch a fish, it doesn't rip and tear out. So once you get up to the top there, I'm just going to tie that out. You can just helicopter that and it will break off free. Now for the collar section, I'm going to be using some dubbing here. This is just some Flashaboo dubbing. I don't know the make of who makes it, but it's really cool dubbing. It's like a flash dubbing. You can use whatever you'd like. You can use the, I think Hairline makes a dubbing something like this. So I'm just gonna grab a little bit here. Just dub a nice little tight noodle. Just a little bit more. I like to keep the these collars relatively sparse on these jig style flies, just so they can flow through the water kind of faster. So I'm just going to build up a little collar here with this red thread. The easiest way to do is just do a couple whip finishes on top of each other. So I'm just going to do one more whip finish here. So you can just cut out your thread. Cut out any stragglies you have. And there you go. Nice little rainbow warrior. My preferred size is this 12. Awesome little pattern. If you've never fished it or never tied it, give it a go. You can change out a bunch of things on it. This is just the original version. Hope you liked today's video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment, let me know if you have any questions or any thoughts or anything like that. So just drop that down in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Thanks a lot again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.